The PlayStation console tribe has finally received their first look at Space Engineers, with the public beta already available as of midnight on the 11th of May. This physics-heavy sandbox survival game, set in space, has had some PlayStation owners excited for quite some time, so let's strap in and check it out. Being a PC game first, it's heavy with UI optimised for PC. The HUD is workable for controllers, but suffers from having more buttons to push than controllers have. With the menus being optimised for use with a mouse, you might think that Keen Software House would add support for the DualSense trackpad, but that is painfully missing, as is gyro support. While the game is perfectly playable without them, especially as UI manipulation and precise aiming don't really factor into most combat situations, these are things that would have been nice to have, especially as navigating the UI using a gamepad is rather hit and miss. Luckily, Space Engineers on PlayStation does support mouse and keyboard, which I highly recommend. Unfortunately, I was unable to test the crossplay as yet, as the PlayStation version is on 1.202.112, whereas PC and Xbox are on 1.202.068. But that won't stop me making comparisons. Anyone who's familiar with the relative performance of the 8th console generation will be unsurprised to learn that the PS4 Pro version of Space Engineers runs at a rock-steady 30 frames per second, half the frame rate of the Xbox One X version, although both are running at 1080p. It seems there may be performance left on the table, as in my light testing, Space Engineers had much better frame pacing on PS4 Pro than on Xbox One X, which gives you plenty of overhead for those amazing physics interactions Space Engineers is known for. While we do know that Space Engineers runs internally at 60 updates per second, it doesn't seem to be slowing down because of the lower frame rate, meaning that the PlayStation 4's CPU should be powerful enough to keep up. I don't have a PS5 to test with, but it should be reasonable to expect 60 FPS on the PS5. For now, mod support seems broken, as the radial menus seem to bug out when mods were loaded, reclassifying swathes of blocks and failing to load some string localizations. On the plus side, blueprints mostly work, with groups on toolbars seemingly failing to get set up properly, and a loading indicator has been added to the loading screen, showing the progress as a percentage. Overall, for a public beta, it's a good enough port. I look forward to the upcoming weeks or months as they tune and refine the game on PlayStation to be on par with the Xbox and PC. If you're going to be playing the game for the first time on PlayStation, check this video so you know what to expect.